Hey guys, welcome to Shonnie's World. So this video, first of all, before we get into this video, can we say hey, hello to all the new subscribers, and thank you for hitting the subscribe button, even though I know you are coming for my hair updates. Which, can you guys believe this, by the way? Look at this. Crazy. If you look at my thumbnail from my first video, my hair is probably like right here, and now, not even washed yet, it's like to my collarbone. So excited, so excited. So anyway, this video is not about that. This video is about my language learning journey. So like, okay, what language is this girl learning? Why is she learning languages? Let me tell you. So I know I probably did another video about that, but in this video, this language that I chose to learn, which is Portuguese, I'm learning it because I just so happened to be, I just stumbled across it, honestly. Like, my son's video game got switched into the Portuguese language, and because of my background in Spanish, I was able to switch it back to English, and so I figured, why not? Like, that's an easy, not easy, it is a language that I could acquire kind of easier than any other language, you know, because of my background in Spanish. I started a new job, you know, I started doing, you know, a lot of things in Portuguese, started ordering a lot of books, and then out of, I don't even know, like, I don't know, somewhere along the lines, I don't know if it's because of the new job kind of took over, like, what I was trying to learn at the time, like, that I was trying to focus on my job and what all that it entailed, which I still am. It's still a learning curve, but I kind of pushed my language learning to the background. You know, it's just like, okay, I'll get to it. Let me just get through this learning curve of this new job and learn what I'm supposed to be doing. But I miss it. You know, I miss learning a language, and I miss, you know, getting past this beginner stage with Portuguese. And I have so much stuff. I have notebooks. I have pens. I have Post-its. I have markers. I have a planner book, which is like a grid notebook. Is it called a grid notebook? No, I don't know what it's called anymore. Anyways, I can show you guys later, but it's really, really popular with people that are learning languages that like to, you know, map out how they're going to learn it. So I've been in this like rut row with learning a language or learning Portuguese that let's see, I have two apps, Duolingo and Busuu, that I use pretty regularly. I was using Link a lot, but lately I haven't really been using Linked. I also have like 5 books, textbooks, like, and workbooks. I have 5 books that include textbooks and workbooks related to Portuguese. I also have I just got a Portuguese to English dictionary. So yeah, so there's like, I have so much stuff, but I think the problem was I had so much stuff that it was overwhelming, and I wasn't really getting what I wanted with Busuu, and I wasn't really getting what I wanted with Duolingo, even though Duolingo, I feel like, has taught me more in the last few weeks than Busuu has, or a few months, but it's just, I just needed more. I needed something, especially since it's a language that I'm learning from scratch. So what I did, let me show you. First, I purchased this book here. It's called Everything Brazilian Portuguese. So I actually have, this is a brand new copy. I bought a used copy off of Amazon, and that copy did not have the CD. So the other night when I decided, you know what, I'm going to start working on my Portuguese, it said to listen to track 1 and then track 2, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's not important. Well, then all throughout the book it says listen to a certain track, and I'm like, well, how am I going to learn how to pronounce things if I don't have a CD? So I purchased another book. Now this one has the CD in it, so now I can't go wrong with it. And so far I like this book because it explains like how Portuguese came about, and the relationship between, you know, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and all that. I am so glad that you guys took that opportunity on my last 2 videos to subscribe, and subscribe. I'm so excited. So I am very grateful that you hit that subscribe button. So I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Where did I get lost at? Well, I got lost. I think I have too many resources. So I have so much. I have apps. I have books. I have my notebooks with my notes in it. I have flashcards. I have so much stuff. So I think all of that just kind of overwhelmed me. And what I really want to do with Portuguese is start from the beginning, get the basics. With Spanish, it was easy to jump in and, pick up running on any app or Duolingo or wherever, I decide to go for some supplemental learning. But with Portuguese, I'm starting at the beginning. I don't have a teacher standing in front of me teaching me the very basics, like, the alphabet, the numbers, the days of the week, the months, and everything else. Like, I don't have the very basics that I need to begin to understand this language and how it all comes to be. So I mentioned that I use Duolingo. Duolingo has been very helpful in teaching me like sentence structure, new vocabulary, grammar. But because I don't really have a lot of time anymore, like I would do it here and there, and I'm still trying to pick up on it, but it's a little difficult right now. So to stay focused, and then I want to also take notes so I can remember that grammar point. So I kind of found myself kind of like not doing that as much. My other app, Busu, I love Busu for Spanish. I loved it for introducing me to Portuguese. But the problem with Busu is that they try to teach you in context, so there's really no order. Like, I didn't even working my way through the lessons. I didn't even know the days of the week. I just learned that on Wednesday. I didn't know the days of the weeks. I didn't know the numbers. I didn't know how to count in Portuguese. I didn't know the months, and that was just in like the first, few lessons. I didn't learn that, and so they try to teach you in context, so you're not, memorizing a bunch of vocabulary, like you're learning phrases versus single words. They introduce new concepts in different scenarios, which is good, but I don't know, I still felt like something was missing. So I decided to purchase a textbook because I want to start from the beginning. I want to get it right, right now versus later and having to backtrack. And so first thing I did, not first thing, but just the other day, I ordered a Portuguese and English dictionaries, Oxford. So I just got this to help me. And then I bought this textbook. Now, this textbook is called The Complete Brazilian Portuguese. Yeah, that's all it says. Teach Yourself Complete Brazilian Portuguese, Beginner to Intermediate course. So I started this textbook. Now, this textbook does have an audio version, but it's online. So I was able to be online on my phone, have my headset in, and then I can actually hear what I wanted. And so I kind of, for this textbook, which I'll get into this one a little bit, I just want to show you guys this right now. I like this one. I do. It's a little bit more kind of like how you would have learned a foreign language like in high school, but it's really good. Now, this book is a practice book. It's called the Everything Brazilian Portuguese Practice Book. So yes, so I haven't really started in this because I haven't really started in the textbook. The textbook is here, and I did start with this one. That was my plan, was to start with the actual textbook. So I started with this one on Wednesday. I think I'm going to stick with this one. There are some practice. I'm going to use both, but I'm going to get as far as I can with this one first, before I try to use the other books. So those are the two main textbooks. This one is called Essential Portuguese Grammar. All the grammar really needed for speech and comprehension. So yeah, so I started to read this a couple months ago, but I haven't really finished. It is in the plans to read, so that's that one. And then I got Barron's 501 Portuguese Verbs. So this one also does not have a CD. I think my Spanish one has a CD where you can actually conjugate like on the computer, like you put it in the CD-ROM part, and you can conjugate through all kinds of tenses and everything else. But yeah, so this is that. So I brought that to help me learn my verbs, but I haven't used it yet either, so I've been slacking. So, okay. I told you guys I listen to podcasts. I haven't been listening to them lately because I've been so busy and everything else is going on. So, oh wait, did you subscribe to my channel? Please do. Okay. Now, so what I did starting out, I wrote down the alphabet. You can probably see it. I wrote it all the way out. So how I learn best is I learn by seeing it and writing it. And then once I write it, it's like it works both ways for me. And then I also like to, like I found out in nursing school, I like to record myself and playing it back, or just me saying it helps me remember it. Haven't had a chance to do that yet, but this was just me taking notes. And to show you how far behind I am, this was from January 14th, 2020, writing the alphabet. So the other day, I wrote down the numbers in pen. I use different ink too to help me remember. And then, like, this is for this book here. So the online pronunciation and all that is available through Teach Yourself as an app, and it's also on a website that you can get on and download this version for this book. And so while I was listening to the numbers, I was looking at it in the book, writing it down, and listening to how it was said. So I was able to, like, kind of, I have to practice again, but I was able to write that down. I try to do short sessions because like I said, I'm in school. Again, I'm taking a class. So I figured while I'm studying set myself study time aside for my class that I'm taking, I can also use a little bit of that time once I get done with my schoolwork to focus on my Portuguese. So that way I have a set day time for me to study, so I'm not forgetting. So I also wrote down I did the same thing for the days of the week. So what I learned with Portuguese. So look at this. So domingo is the first, is Sunday. The same thing as in Spanish, right? Monday is segunda-feira. I can't know if you guys, my pronunciation with Portuguese is not perfect. So if you speak Portuguese, I'm not trying to like tear up the language or anything. I'm just learning. So then Tuesday, I want to say terça-feira. And then Wednesday is quarta-feira. And Thursday is quinta-feira. And Friday is sexta-feira. So basically, those are numbers. Their days of the week is based on the number of the day of the week. You get what I mean? Like Monday's the second day of the week. If you start with Sunday, it's your first day. And then Wednesday or Tuesday is the third day of the week. Wednesday is the fourth day of the week. And Thursday is the fifth day of the week. And Friday is the sixth day of the week. And then Saturday, guess what? It's just like Spanish. It's sábado. So you can learn it. But the key is you got to know the numbers. So I'm still learning my numbers. So I didn't even know this. I had this app. I've had it for a while. I had it for Spanish and I added Portuguese. And yeah, it's my fault that I didn't like truly practice it like all the time like I should have. But at the same time, I'm like, I didn't even know this. So anyway, and then I put the months down. Some of them are the same, like Agosto, September. Actually, and then I wrote that out in two different colors. I don't know. I wrote that out in two different colors. This is let me go back to this, my months. And then, let's see. Then general greetings. Oi, bom dia. Boa tarde. The pronunciations is different. It's similar to Spanish. Like some of the words that look the same aren't the same, which are false cognates, or they sound the same. Like libro in Spanish is libro in Portuguese with a V instead of a B, and so that's different. There's a lot of similarities. So okay. So anyway, there's some more general greetings. How are you? How to respond back. And I put the English in black and purple for Portuguese. I don't know why I just did it that way. Hands out, makes me remember it. And then basic questions. So then in the actual chapter, when that chapter actually starts, it's actually about, let's see, it says, su pasaporte, por favor. your passport, please. And so it goes through like a conversation in this book. I'll have to include you guys in one of my study sessions. So yeah. Goes through, you start learning conjugation, so it kind of gets you right in the meat of things too. So you start using what you learn. So I haven't started that first chapter yet, but that's the goal. Like this weekend after I finish my homework, that's what I realized. This past week, I'm gonna have to put in time if I want to learn this language and be serious about it. And then, so there's another thing like, okay, so what's stopping me from learning this language? Or what's stopping me from studying and studying effectively? Well, I have a lot of resources. So what I decided to do was narrow down my resources, get back to the basics. I'm going to keep Duolingo. I'll probably pause my link subscription. My Busu, I'm signed up for that for a year. So I'll put that on pause right now. We'll hone in on these textbooks. And then once I feel like I have a good, understanding of the basics of the basic verbs, learning my pronunciation, learning my number, knowing the basic stuff, then I'll go to Busu. We'll start from scratch, start off with lesson 1, work my way through those, and, start to add on to that. And then I'll get on italki, and then I'll, get a tutor and start doing a lesson a week or 2 lessons a week learning Portuguese. And so that is my plan right now. So like I said, it's not a race. Anything that you do in this life is not a race. You do it at your own pace. You do what makes you happy. If your goal is to learn a language to fluency, then try it to your best ability and practice every chance that you get. That's one thing that I'm lacking. I'm not practicing enough. So I'm going to have to try to squeeze it in wherever I can. And yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. I mean, right now there's a lot of audio, Pimsleur. I think there's one for Brazilian Portuguese. There's podcasts and things like that. So there's ways to do it, ways to incorporate it into your commute or before you go to bed, stuff like this. So anyways, so I'm going to wrap this video up. Stay tuned for tomorrow for my hair updates, even though you guys kind of see it a little bit. But stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later.